Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely change how you look at the absolute hardest working room in your home. Whether you're a student dreaming up your first real apartment, or you're just wondering why some kitchens feel amazing to cook in, while others leave you totally exhausted, you are in the exact right place. We are going to master the art and science of kitchen planning. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover what makes a kitchen, key design factors, ergonomics, the famous work triangle, and finally, the 5 work centers. Let's get into it. All right, let's jump straight into section 1. What actually makes a kitchen? Now, it might seem super obvious, but we really have to ground ourselves in the basics here. Whether we're talking about a tiny dorm apartment or a massive, sprawling commercial restaurant, a kitchen is fundamentally just a space dedicated entirely to cooking and food prep. And honestly, no matter how complex the meal you're making is, every single thing you do in there boils down to 4 critical actions: cook, store, prepare, and clean. If our design doesn't flawlessly support every single one of those 4 pillars, well, the space simply won't work. Moving right along to section 2, key kitchen design factors. Let me ask you something. What do you think is the absolute most overlooked design factor when someone is building a kitchen? You're probably guessing the budget, right? Or maybe picking out the color scheme, but actually it comes down to something totally invisible. It's how you move. And this brings us to space planning. You could literally have the most beautiful, expensive cabinets in the world, but if 2 people can't squeeze past each other to get to the fridge, the design is a total fail. You actually need about 90 to 120 centimeters of clearance space in your aisles, just to allow comfortable movement. It's all about that efficient circulation. But space planning is just one piece of the puzzle, right? You also have to account for a whole ecosystem of other factors. You need proper natural and task lighting so you can actually see what you're chopping. You need safety provisions like non-slip floors. You need smart ventilation to pull smoke out. And of course, materials that can take a beating from heat and moisture. At the end of the day, a really well-designed kitchen harmonizes all of these practical safety requirements with your budget without ever sacrificing visual appeal. It is the ultimate test of form meeting function. It has to look great, sure, but it absolutely must be a hygienic, highly functional workspace first. Okay, on to section 3. This is a big one: ergonomics and designing for you. Ergonomics. It's a word you're going to want to remember because it's a real game changer. Basically, it means planning a space according to actual human dimensions. Reaching for a heavy pot or chopping vegetables for an hour shouldn't hurt your back. Ergonomics is all about making the kitchen work for you, instead of you working against it. So, here is a magic measurement we should all commit to memory right now: 85 to 90 centimeters. It is the absolute secret to avoiding backaches after prepping a big dinner. And the reason is simple. 85 to 90 centimeters is the standard countertop height that naturally aligns with average human dimensions. It keeps you from hunching over. Also, think about your reach zones. The items you use all the time should be stored right in that middle, easy reach area so you aren't constantly bending down or stretching up. Rarely used items, put those way up high or down low. It's a simple rule, but it changes everything. Next up, section 4, the magic work triangle. If you've ever heard one single rule about kitchen design, it's probably this one. The work triangle is a super fundamental planning principle. Just imagine a literal, invisible triangle drawn right on your floor, connecting the 3 main hubs of activity in the room to minimize the amount of walking you have to do. The 3 points of this classic triangle are the refrigerator for storage, the sink for cleaning, and the stove for cooking. Now, the golden rule here is to keep the total length of all 3 of these sides combined between 4 and 7.9 meters. Sticking to this specific geometry saves you an unbelievable amount of time and physical energy over the course of making just one meal. Let's compare the 2 extremes. A smooth workflow happens when your triangle has absolutely 0 obstacles in the way. But if you interrupt that triangle, say by dropping a bulky kitchen island directly between the sink and the stove, or if you stretch those points out across a massive room, you instantly destroy the room's efficiency. You will literally feel your physical fatigue increase because you're walking an obstacle course just to boil some pasta. Which brings us to our final part, section 5, the 5 work centers. You see, a perfectly planned kitchen doesn't just rely on that triangle. It actually breaks the whole room down into 5 highly specialized zones based on what you're doing: storage, preparation, cooking, serving, and cleaning. And what's really cool is how this sequence perfectly mirrors the literal physical steps you take to make dinner. You start at the storage center to grab your ingredients from the fridge, then you slide over to the prep center to wash and chop them up, then over to the cooking center at the stove, next the serving center to plate the food, and finally the cleaning center at the sink. It creates this totally seamless, intuitive flow from start to finish. When you put it all together, the magic of the work triangle, those 5 specialized centers, ensuring you've got those 85 to 90 centimeter ergonomic heights and the wide clearance aisles, something amazing happens. Cooking stops being a chaotic, stressful chore and transforms into a highly productive, incredibly comfortable experience. You maximize your safety and guarantee a totally smooth workflow. So, now that we understand the fundamental science behind space planning, ergonomics, and work centers, I have a challenge for you. Take a look at your own kitchen tonight. Walk your work triangle. Measure your countertops. You have to ask yourself, is your kitchen working for you, or are you working for it? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope you never look at your home the exact same way again.